Hello, this is Jason Beeman from the National Weather Service in Mobile. We thank you for joining us as we discuss the new impact-based warning experimental project and the changes you will see in the format of severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings. First, we'll discuss a little bit about why we are doing this. What is the reasoning behind making these changes? Well, the National Weather Service felt it needs a new way to differentiate between more common severe weather events and those less frequent events that pose an even higher threat to life and property. Take the following comparisons, for example. We issue the same type of severe thunderstorm warning whether you have softball-size hail or quarter-size hail. Same for wind speeds. If you have 90-mile-per-hour winds versus 60-mile-per-hour winds, a severe thunderstorm warning is issued for each wind speed. For tornado warnings, whether you have a strong to violent tornado or a weaker tornado, it all falls under a tornado warning. So using impact-based warnings, we can use social science-approved wording to communicate how serious the hazard is and what the likely impact from that hazard will be. An important note, the criteria for issuing our warnings is not changing. All that is changing is the format of our warnings to more concisely and articulately describe what the hazard and impacts are. Now, several offices across the United States have already switched to this impact-based warning project. You can see all the areas in blue there that have already switched to the impact-based warnings. All the Gulf Coast offices, see shaded in the red, including the National Weather Service in Mobile, transitioned to impact-based warnings on October 1st. So we're just starting out this test. Here's an example of how a warning will look and an important new element that will be added to our warnings. On the left, you can see a text of a sample warning. In this particular case, it is for a tornado warning. And you can see how everything is segmented out as far as being able to display what the hazard, what the source of information is, and what the impact will be based on that particular hazard. But down at the bottom, there is something brand new called a tag, an event tag. And this will be most helpful for tornado situations. So let's just quickly go through what these different tags mean. We'll start off with the tornado tag, and basically whether a tornado is radar indicated, which means based on evidence on radar and the near storm environment, we believe that there is a tornado likely occurring, but yet we don't have confirmation. On the other hand, if a tornado observed tag is used, that means the tornado is confirmed by spotters, law enforcement, or it is detected by radar debris signatures. Then we also have the capability of using tornado damage threat tags that will describe how severe the event potentially will be. Most of the time will be no tag when tornado damage is possible within the warning, but the tornado duration is expected to be generally short-lived and fairly weak, on the order of an EF0 or EF1, for example. The considerable threat tag will be used rarely in those situations where there is strong evidence that a strong tornado, typically EF2 or higher, is imminent or ongoing. And this is capable of producing considerable damage and is an enhanced threat to life and property. It also means that the tornado duration, how long it's expected to be on the ground, is expected to be more long-lived. Then in very rare cases, we have the option of using the catastrophic tag. That is only used when there is a violent tornado, EF4 or EF5, confirmed on the ground based on tornadic debris signatures close to the radar, but most importantly by spotters, that a large violent tornado is moving towards a population center and there is an even greater enhanced threat to life and property. These tornadoes are on the ground a very long time and can produce massive casualties and damage. There's also a tornado tag option in severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado possible. That means if we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect and we are detecting some indications of some rotation, but our confidence is not yet high enough to issue a tornado warning, we can include this tag to let you know that we don't have enough confidence right now to issue a tornado warning, but this is a storm we are closely monitoring for the potential. So let's go through a few examples of what you will see in different situations. The first example is for a severe thunderstorm warning, a basic severe thunderstorm warning. You'll see here that each warning has a simplified format with the hazard, which basically means what type of weather phenomena we are expecting in this particular storm. The source, whether that be this is being indicated on radar or we have spotter reports, that would go under the source. And then the impact. What is the overall impact of the hazard we are discussing? To let people know what they need to prepare for and can expect from a particular severe weather event. And then down at the bottom of the warning is the hail and wind tags, similar to the tornado tags, but this is explicitly saying what the size of hail and the strength of winds we are indicating. These tags are very useful for broadcast media software applications as well as certain mobile weather applications to be able to parse out the important information of the hazards we are expecting in a particular storm. Now let's move one step up and talk about what we would say is a particularly dangerous situation severe thunderstorm warning. This is a severe thunderstorm that is expected to produce winds of 80 miles per hour or higher and or baseball size hail or larger. You will notice that there is some enhanced wording that goes along with this type of warning that we will put in the statement, this is a very dangerous storm. And you will see that the impact statement is much more serious. Even talking about flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. So this is a high-end or an enhanced severe thunderstorm warning. So you can see the difference from a basic severe thunderstorm warning to what we call a PDS severe thunderstorm warning. We're able to more succinctly tell you what the hazard is and what that impact will be from this more intense storm. Here you will see where we have the option of including the tornado possible tag. In this particular case, there would be some rotation evident on radar, but yet confidence not high enough of a tornado occurring, so a tornado warning has not been issued. So right here, a very succinct way of letting you know that this is a very dangerous storm. Now let's go what we would call a routine tornado warning. This is a tornado warning that will be issued based off of radar indications. When our forecasters are looking at the radar data, they indicate that the rotation is strong enough and the atmospheric conditions are right for there to be a tornado associated with this storm. You'll see in the standard warning the source will be radar indicated rotation, and that is also evident in the tornado tag at the bottom saying radar indicated. Now let's go to when we would use the considerable tag. Now this is when there is evidence based off atmospheric conditions, radar analysis, spotter reports, or dual pole radar data indicating a strong tornado, an EF2 or greater, is or likely is occurring. And again, since this is an enhanced threat, notice the wording being included of this is a particularly dangerous situation. We talk about the hazard being a damaging tornado. In this particular example, the source telling you that it is a radar confirmed tornado. That means we have detected debris on the radar that gives us the confidence to say that the tornado is on the ground. You'll see the higher impact wording. You are in a life-threatening situation, so this is a very serious event. And then down at the bottom, you can see the tags, the tornado observed tag, and the considerable tornado damage threat tags being used. Now we'll go to the exceedingly rare situation of using the catastrophic tag. We can only use the catastrophic tag when there is a confirmed violent tornado on the ground, a violent tornado being an EF4 or 5. These are exceedingly rare situations. You'll notice that we invoke the wording of a tornado emergency for that particular area. The hazard Instead of just saying a damaging tornado, we're now saying a deadly tornado. The source, in this particular case, emergency management confirmed. It could have been spotter confirmed, but we're letting you know the source that is reporting the tornado on the ground. And again, the enhanced wording of the impacts being the life-threatening situation. What type of damage is going to result from this violent tornado? This is the worst case scenario. Again, we'll use in very rare situations. And you can see the corresponding tornado observed and catastrophic tags being used at the bottom of the warning. If we look at a past couple of events in our area using some hindsight, some applications of the tornado considerable tag in our area. Well, the April 15th, 2011 Leakesville, Mississippi EF3 tornado would be an example where we would have used the considerable tag. Again, we knew there was a tornado on the ground. We knew that based off radar indications, we had some debris indications on radar and reports from emergency management that the tornado was on the ground. So this was an enhanced threat to life and property, and we did see quite extensive damage in the Leakesville area over to the area in southwest Washington County, Alabama. So this would have been a perfect use of the considerable tag and enhanced wording for this particular event. The same holds true for the tornado considerable tag. On the December 25th, 2012 downtown Mobile EF2 event. Again, we had video evidence of a tornado on the ground heading towards Midtown Mobile. This was an enhanced threat to life and property. And you may ask, well, why wouldn't this be considered a tornado emergency or a catastrophic situation? Well, looking at the radar data, again, this is the benefit of hindsight, but the radar data indicated strong rotation, a tornado on the ground, but not to the levels of producing a violent EF4 or EF5 tornado that would have resulted in catastrophic damage and mass casualties. This was a strong tornado, make no mistake about it. And the considerable tag, again, is used to highlight an enhanced threat. Some important notes that you should consider with this entire project. There are limitations that are very important to keep in mind. Even though we may not have a tornado observed tag included, doesn't mean a tornado is not on the ground. The only way we know a tornado is on the ground is if there is a valid spotter report or emergency management report, or if the radar is detecting debris. Now, this becomes harder when you're in rural areas far away from the radar. If you're in a rural area, you may not have the network of spotters to tell you that the tornado was on the ground, and it may be too far away from the radar for us to see a debris signature. So there are times when a tornado could certainly be on the ground even though we don't have the tornado observed tag included. Remember, impact-based warnings are meant to tell you, the public, emergency management, and media communities what we as a weather service knows as soon as we know it. We're trying to get the information out to you as fast as possible of what we know and what we're expecting. Warnings will be updated with statements as we get more information. We get spotter reports. We see a considerable strengthening of the storm on radar. We're able to add or upgrade event tags to highlight the situation. So if we start out with a regular, what we call routine tornado warning, and then we see evidence that the circulation has become very strong and likely producing a strong tornado, we can then issue a statement to include the considerable tag, for example. Remember, the format allows the Weather Service to provide clarity and guidance when there is high confidence of an extreme event. Sometimes it is more difficult to detect strong tornadoes at far distances from the radar. So not in every situation where we have an EF2 or higher, we may have the tornado considerable tag included. We may not. Again, the further you get away from the radar, sometimes the harder it is to see what is happening at the low levels of the storm. So it is critical to take every tornado warning seriously, not just when you see a considerable or a catastrophic tag. But do know this, if you do see the considerable tag or higher or enhanced severe thunderstorm warning, then we have high confidence of this more extreme event occurring. I really want to thank you for your time to sit through this presentation and watch it as we discuss this very important change in the impact-based warning project. Again, this is an experiment, and any feedback that you can provide us regarding the usefulness of these products will be very helpful. So please feel free to contact your local National Weather Service here in Mobile with any comments you may have regarding this project. We thank you for your time today.